Joining us now is Hatem Dhiab, the managing partner at Gerber Kawasaki. Hatem, thank you so much for joining us. I know we have you on pretty much every time that Tesla has earnings, but today we get the difficult task of trying to guess what Elon Musk will say after the close, but does feel like this is an inflection point. This is going to be a pretty big report for them because there's a lot of questions and not a whole lot of answers right now.
Yes. Hi, Jenny. It's good to be on. Absolutely. I think it's a day of reckoning today. Tesla has been going through some really tough time. And I think everyone thought Elon getting close to Trump would be a positive, but that hasn't been the case. So today, I think we need some answers, right? We need to understand what's the plan with tariffs, what's the plan with EVs in general, how is Tesla going to do to spur growth? You know, the company is not growing. So there's a lot of answers that we need to have today.
Hatem, though, this is Caroline here weighing in. Obviously, the numbers could potentially be important, too. We already got the Q1 delivery number that was essentially, lower than even the lowest expectations there. So a disappointment there. Investors have done a pretty good job of kind of setting aside the fundamentals, though, or the bulls, I should say, and focusing on the story around robotics and AI. Is that also changing here? Do you think that now is the time that these numbers have to deliver as well, or will there still be optimism around, the longer-term picture?
Well, I think, listen, that 13% drop in deliveries year over year is going to ripple through the financials in a very, very big way, right? Like, you're going to see margins drop, you're going to see sales drop, revenues drop. So it's really going to be a messy year, I think. I like the FSD story. I like the robotics story. I like the Optimus story. But Tesla, at the core, is still a car company that's selling EVs. And right now, they're not selling enough EVs because the brand is damaged and because they have a lot of operational issues. So I think if you think, next 5 years, maybe they will deliver, maybe they will be able to execute. But for the next 12 to 24 months, we need to figure out how they are going to sell more EVs and really remove the damage that the brand has from where Elon has been doing here in the US or also in Europe. So I think that's really what we need answers.
So is this also just more of a product of right now the overall macro environment, a tariff environment that's frankly difficult for us all to understand, and some of these pressures that isn't necessarily specific to Tesla, but Tesla is like our poster child of blame because of Elon Musk?
Yeah, I mean, all of that, right? Like, the interest rates are high, right? So the consumer is slowing down. Trump is against EVs, so less people are buying EVs. So there's all these kind of macro issues that are happening. And then you got the issues with the brand itself. Tesla is a consumer discretionary brand. It used to be at one point one of the most aspirational brands out there, right? But now, because of what's happened politically, I think you've seen a lot of people, especially on the blue states, on the liberal kind of side of states, which buys EVs. Like that's the demographic that are no longer wanting to buy these cars, right? So I think they need to fix that problem first. Last year in Europe, Tesla, the Model Y specifically, was the #1 selling car in Europe. Not EV, a car, right? It was the best product. That is not going to be the case this year. They need to really rebrand, or at least do some real damage control here for the brand to grow again.
Some of these are real issues that aren't going to be fixed with one earnings call either. So how much pressure could Tesla shares be under if it takes a while to figure that out? Or how much really hinges on Elon Musk saying potentially that he's stepping away from that Doge role, which has also really seemed to weigh on investor sentiment?
100%. You're absolutely right. Like, it's not going to be changed today, but I think if we start seeing some steps, right? I think Elon needs to step away from this Doge role, and he just needs to come back to being the CEO of Tesla, right? The issues with Tesla are not just the brand; there's also operational, right? We haven't had the Cybertruck hasn't been doing as well. They have had a lot of delays on deliveries and things like that. So I think Elon coming back to work will be the first step there. And then two, we have a little bit more clarity around, hey, this is our strategy, this is what we're going to be doing. I think that will help restore some of the confidence into this growth story. But at the end of the day, this is a 100 PE stock. It's a growth stock that is not growing, and that's really what the issues are.
Yeah, I mean, the 100 PE is the most wild of it all. I mean, we talk about the repricing of the Max 7. You would hardly know it if you looked at Tesla on a forward basis. We're not seeing that really come down. I mean, I know it's come down, but relatively speaking, it hasn't come down nearly enough. And so maybe not to pile on to the negativity, but I know energy has been a component of Tesla that has interested, I mean, myself as well as some of the enthusiasts of this name over the last several quarters, like trying to find maybe what could be a point of optimism in this report. Their energy business has continued to grow, and I mean, I know it's a small portion of their revenue, but it is growing.
Yeah, listen, we can focus on all the negatives. You're absolutely right. But Tesla has this energy business. I'm here in California. We just had the fires here in the Palisades down the street from my house, and thank God for my Tesla solar, right? I have batteries and I have my solar panels, and I have basically autonomy for 3 days in my house. That energy business is growing at 50%. It's now 13% of Tesla's revenue. And if it keeps doing that, it keeps growing. And frankly, there is no other company that's doing as well in that space. And they don't seem to have the same brand issues there. So yeah, that's a really, really bright spot. The services also is a bright spot. Like the more Tesla cars on the road, the more services Tesla can provide, selling energy and things like that, and their charging network, right? So think of it as almost like an Apple, right? Like the more cars or the more devices out there, the more service revenue you can generate. So these are all positive things. But again, we need to restore the brand and for that to keep growing.
So Hatem, you're a believer in Tesla solar panels. If I remember correctly from maybe a year ago when you were here at the NYSE, I'm pretty sure you drive a Tesla as well, or maybe you've changed at this point. But given the fact that there are some bright spots there, energy more specifically, and the fact that Tesla shares are off more than 50% from the highs reached just late last year, would you be a buyer of Tesla shares at 236 ahead of earnings?
I'm so glad you brought that point, because I live in California, and obviously the brand damage and for Tesla is massive. But we just got the new Model Y, and frankly, it's such a great car. The only problem is people don't know it, right? Like there is no advertising. People don't understand how good this car is. We drove for almost 3 hours yesterday to San Diego and back on FSD. So the car is just fantastic. As far as the shares at 100 PE and a company not growing, we're definitely not buying them right now. We still own the stock because we've owned it for many years. But until we see some changes in the future outlook of Tesla and some changes on, from the executive standpoint, then we may buy it again.
Okay, and I will add on to that. There's the 2 Cybertrucks that are parked in my building, and I get excited every time I see them. So I will not be a hater blindly of Tesla. I'm still very much a supporter. Just right now, it's been a frustrating time. So we're trying to maybe get through what has been just a difficult time to fully root for Elon Musk, even though I'm still trying to be a fan. But we so appreciate you as well for joining us today and bringing all the wonderful insight on Tesla ahead of this report. Hatem Dhiab, the managing partner at Gerber Kawasaki.